Hello, a very good evening to all of you. Welcome back. And today we are going to see the case note of baby Dylan Charles. Letter to lactation consultant at the breastfeeding support center, 68 Main Street, Romville. So let's see the case as a whole here. Now, what all things we need here? We are writing to a lactation consultant. So a lactation consultant, who the person who is helping or a center who is helping in lactation and related services. Now, let's see the background information. You are a maternal and child health nurse working in Romville Community Child Health Service. You are a maternal and child health nurse. So what is your designation is clearly said, and it is today's date. It's 2012, 15 January. Now, we need this information. Who are you? Maternal child health nurse. Where you're working? Rom Village Community Child Health Service. Today's date needed. Yes, it's 15 January 2012. Baby boy, Daniel Charles, needed. Date of birth, needed. Romville Maternity Hospital, it is understood that it's not so important there. First baby of, it's not so important. Raymond and Sylvia Charles, parents' name. Address not important, discharge not important. Now, let us go with the family. Mother, age 24, first child, not so important. Age 25, soldier, currently away on duty, not so important. Birth history is important, so that's normal vaginal birth at term. So there is no, it's not a preterm delivery, it's a normal vaginal delivery. Birth weight, if it is important, it's an optional thing here. We are writing to a lactation consultant. You are not going to identify and assess the weight of this client. Yes, you are asked to support the mother and the baby regarding breastfeeding techniques, and you have nothing to do with the weight there. But still, if you have to get an understanding, so it's still important, birth weight. But I won't say it is compulsory to put it down. So it becomes an optional data there. Apgar score, no, we don't have any complication there. As we go further, it's 15 January. Now I have Sylvia and baby attended routine 6-week checkup. This is relevant there. What's the reason why she's here right now? Sylvia says is concerned about constipation. So the conditions have no relevance here, because you are not going to write to a consultant, pediatric consultant, or someone, or a dietitian or someone. So you are writing to a lactation consultant. So medical conditions have less significance here now. For the first 3 weeks breastfed, it's okay. You have to write that. Baby became unsalted during summer heat wave in December. Definitely you have to write, because it's the problems here. Now Xavier got sick and had a fever for a few days. Yes, now Sylvia got sick is important. Mary Charles came to visit and advised changing baby to formula feeds. Mary advised extra powder. Okay, now that's you can brief it. You can, because it's an expanded story there. You can brief it. Now you can say that the condition right now is that Sylvia feeds her baby with breast milk, along with the extra formula feeds. That's what we can say that. And she doesn't feel that the baby is breastfed in a proper way. And she feels that breastfeeding is the best thing, and against her thinking, her mother-in-law thinks just opposite. Now she thinks that formula feed is the best now. So there is a conflict between the mother-in-law and the mother of the child. Now let's go ahead with the condition in today when we have assessed the child. We don't have any complications. We can say that the child has a dark color urine and 3 wet nappies. All these things, we are not going to write all these things. We can say that mild constipation and dehydration, or symptoms of mild constipation and dehydration. So what's our plan is to increase the breastfeed. So we are going to consult a breastfeeding support service because there are some problems. Problem number 1 is the heat wave. Problem number 2 is Miss Sylvia is having has some source of anxiety and some source of confusions regarding the ways to feed, and she feels that her breast milk is insufficient. So you need to resolve those problems. Problem number 3 is a conflict between the mother and the mother-in-law regarding the preparation of the formula with milk and all these things. So we have several issues here. So we have to provide a support service, breastfeeding support service, and that too should be specialized support service to these clients. Now, what we have to do further is to the climate, and so regarding the climate, so you need to keep the baby cool in the hot weather. And one more thing that you can see, the supplementing with water, boiled and cold. So we can include that in the preparation of formula feed. And the last one is a review in 48 hours, so 2 days after you have the follow-up. So this is the letter here. Now I can make it bigger a little bit. Okay. This letter is being written to seek your service for baby Dylan Charles, who suffers issues related to improper breastfeeding. His mother, Mrs. Sylvia, requires education regarding proper feeding techniques. So we have not expanded. So when we write 2 sentences regarding baby and the mother, it will become bigger in size. So what we have to take care is to reduce the size, but the content and the essence should be there in this paragraph. Now, this is the best thing what we can do here, to seek your service instead of telling that baby Dylan suffers with mild constipation and dehydration. Just we said baby suffers issues related to improper breastfeeding, and that is the main thing that we need to highlight. So the issues is to be solved later, but the problem which we need to address here is improper breastfeeding, and that's what we need to highlight there in the purpose paragraph. So that's what we have done there. His mother, Miss Sylvia, requires education regarding proper feeding techniques, and that's all we have in the purpose paragraph. It is very clear. Now, let's go ahead. The first paragraph of this thing. So that's about birth history. Baby Dylan was born via normal vaginal delivery 6 weeks ago. So you don't need to mention that, but still, because you know that you have written the date of birth, and you know that the date of birth is mentioned there, and this is a 6 week a routine checkup. So it is said in another paragraph. So what we have written here 6 weeks ago is just to conform uh, a time frame. That's it. We have nothing more to do with this 6 weeks here because already the uh, date of birth is there in on the top. So baby Dylan was born via normal vaginal delivery 6 weeks ago. I told 6 weeks ago is not mandatory there, and had been breastfed normally until his mother fell ill. So his mother fell ill. Until that point, he had been breastfed properly. Due to the feeling that she has not enough breast milk, Miss Sylvia started giving her baby extra formula feed. So she had some confusions, and she thought that she has insufficient feeding, so she started supplementing uh, the baby with extra fluids, so extra formula feeds. So that's what we can see there. Excuse me. However, Dylan could not tolerate bottle feed, and the summer heat waves made the situation worse. Now, Dylan, that from when breast milk was changed and to formula feeds, he couldn't tolerate the bottle feed. And in addition to that, on top of that, you can see that summer heat waves made the situation worse. So the situation became bitter. Apart from these issues, tension started developing between Miss Sylvia and her mother-in-law regarding the best feeding methods for Thailand. So we have these issues. We have number one, mother fell ill. Then you can see that not enough breast milk. Next, baby not tolerating bottle feed. Now the summer heat waves. Another thing, tension started developing. These are the problems which we are going to highlight. So this is the background information that we are giving, highlighting the problem. So we have highlighted these issues well. Now during today's 6 week routine checkup after birth, again the time frame is very clear. Dylan was seen slightly lethargic and had symptoms of dehydration and mild constipation. So we are not going to write dark urine. We are not going to write 3 wet nappies in 24 hours, all these things. So we said was seen, observation, slight lethargy. Lethargy was there. Symptoms of mild dehydration, and mild constipation. That's it. We are not going to expand it as far as you're not going to write to a doctor or someone else. We are going to write to a lactation consultant. So identifying the importance of breastfeeding support service at this moment. So we have identified the importance of breastfeeding support service. Now, in this situation, both Dylan and his mother is being referred to you. So I'm not going to refer only Dylan, I'm going to refer both. See, this is something very, very important here, is that you have to understand both are involved in this. So you cannot write Dylan alone. You have to say both. Now, it would be appreciated if you could increase the frequency of breastfeeds and provide education to Dylan's carers. So why we have written Dylan's carers means Dylan's mother-in-law is there at home to care for the child. So it's not only the mother of Dylan; it's a mother-in-law too are helping in the situation. So whoever be the carer, so educating Sylvia is important. At the same time, mother-in-law is also taking care of the baby. So it's written in the question that the problems persist. The mother-in-law is expected to stay there for another month until the problem resolves. You can see there in the question. So this is an immediate reference, and you are referring to the breastfeeding consultant, and they are going to teach and advise the carers proper preparation of formula. It's an addition. Kindly advise them to keep the baby cool in this adverse. So here also, whoever the carers, kindly advise them to keep the baby cool in this adverse weather. That's the hot weather, and remind them the review in 48 hours. The review is scheduled in 48 hours. That's also important. Now, if you have any further queries regarding the situation of Thailand, please do not hesitate to contact me. Yours faithfully, maternal child health nurse, and you have to write the name of the hospital, maternity hospital. That's all. Sorry. And that is the end of the session today. Hope that we see again soon with another letter. Thank you.